Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is infectious diseases. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, it is very important for us to sanitize. Remember, when we sanitize, we are trying to stay safe away from these infectious diseases. So, sanitize as regularly as you can. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be talking about time, nouns, and number bonds. For our lesson today, boys and girls, let's start our activity on page 20. On page 20, we will be doing time. And how we're going to be doing time is by telling what time it is. Now, as you can see, we have 9 clocks that all have different times. So it is our job to write the time in the boxes below. I am only going to help you by showing you what each of them are going to be saying with the certain hands. So let's take a look at the board. On the board, you can see that I have one clock face. Now it has one arrow, which is different from yours for now, because I want to tell you that this arrow is the minute hand. Now the minute hand tells us the minutes and it moves much faster than the other arrow. The other arrow is called the hour hand, but for now we're going to keep the minute hand there. Now the minute hand is the one that is pointing to 12 right now, and every time the minute hand points to 12, we say it is o'clock. Now the o'clock we're talking about is when the hour, when we say on the hour. This is now where the hour hand comes. If the hour hand is pointing to a number, for example 3, we can now read the time as 3 and then we say o'clock. 3 o'clock, because the minute hand is pointing to 12 and then the hour hand is pointing to a number. So we say 3 o'clock. Now pay close attention to how we spell o'clock. We have an O and then we have what is called an apostrophe. Now an apostrophe sits just below the top line in between letters in a word, just like how you see it in the word o'clock. When you're writing o'clock in your exercise, please make sure that there is an apostrophe between O and C. Now let's practice by moving our hour hand to tell the time. If I move the hour hand to 7, what would our time be? Well done. Our time will now be 7 o'clock. If I move the hour hand to 11, what will our time be? Well done. Our time will now be 11 o'clock. What if I move our hour hand to the number 12? What would our time be? Well done. If you guessed right, the hour is 12 o'clock. So remember, the minute hand is the one that has to point at 12 for it to be o'clock. But the hour hand can move around and change the hour. For example, this one is 5 o'clock. Don't forget that the hour hand is always shorter than the minute hand. If you check nicely in your exercise, you will see the difference. So have fun. Please spell the word o'clock correctly and fill in all the times for the clocks you can see. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Now let's move on to our next exercise on page 21. On page 21, we are going to be doing nouns. Now, as you both know, or all know, is that nouns have two types for noun. We talk about the common noun and the proper noun. So today we are going to, first of all, sort them out, and then we'll discuss them later on. Now, a common noun is the name of any person, place, or thing. So we do not use a capital letter for them. For example, a boy is a person, a place like a state or a region, and then a thing like the month, but just a month, not any specific month. Then a proper noun is the name of a specific person, a specific place, and a specific thing. All proper nouns begin with capital letters. So let's take a look at the board at the examples that I have given. Now, we said common nouns can be a name of a place, a person, or a thing. Here we have the word nurse for the person. We're not sure about the person's name, so there is no need to put it in capital letters. Then we have things. For example, a pencil. Small letter P for the pencil and small letter L for the word lion. Now we change it into a proper noun if we know the specifics. For example, if this one just said country, that would be a small letter C. But because we know the name of the country, China, we do a capital letter for the word China. And then in your example, they said the month of April, but I have chosen the month of May. Capital letter M because we know the name of the month. And then for a person, it is no longer a boy, but it changes into the boy's name, which is Thomas. So look out for all the words that have capital letters, because then you know that they are proper nouns. You're going to complete your exercise by yourself and read the words out loud as you put them in their correct places. Please make sure you have neat handwriting when you do this. And if you're not sure about a word, you can move on before you go back to it. And when you do go back to it, if it's still hard, you can ask an adult for help. Please make sure that as you go on, you are crossing out the words that you have used or put in their proper places so that you don't try and sort them out again. Take your time, have fun, and I'll see you after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Now we are going to go into a little bit of maths on page 22. On page 22, we are doing number bonds. Now we have 3 questions to answer with different parts of it. The first one is asking you to write the number bonds of 20. And as you can see, we have our 8 ribbon with the 20 in the middle and with one number at the end. We're going to do the last one where we have 20 and 17 as one of our numbers. So let us take a look at the board. To get our answer, we are going to use the counting on method. Now we know we have 17 already, so we need to move on to get to 20. How we're going to do that is by writing sticks. So 17 is already there and we need to get to 20. So we say, let's count together, 18, 19, 20. So we know that we have reached 20 with our sticks. The next stage after writing our sticks is to count them to see how many they are for us to put in the next circle. Let's count our sticks. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 sticks. So that means the other half of this age ribbon has 17 and our 3 now. So 17 and 3 make up 20. Now let's take a look at number 2 for our exercise. Let's take a look at our exercise. On our exercise for number 2, they are asking us to break down the numbers. Now they've given us an example of where they have 234 and they have broken them down according to their place values. So we're going to do the same. We're going to do the same for D. So let's take a look at the board. For D, it says 182. So instead of just putting 182, we want to know what it is made up of so we can break it down. We will start by putting our hundreds, tens, and units on top. This way, we are guided on how we should break it down. The first digit we're going to look at this time is Grandpa Hundreds. Now, Grandpa Hundreds has many friends. In fact, he has 2 friends that are always standing with him. So if we're going to write 1, we also need to write the 2 zeros that come with the 1. So we're writing 100. And because we're breaking down the number, we are going to put a plus sign. So now we are done with the 1 for the hundreds. We have said 100 plus. So that means we're moving on now to our tens. And Mr. Tens also doesn't like walking alone. He always has another digit with him. So we're going to write our 8 where the tens is. And then we're going to put a 0 as well to say that this is 80. So far we've got 100 plus 80. Now we need to add another plus because remember we're breaking down the numbers. The last one is units. And Mrs. Eunice doesn't have many friends at all. Her friends start from 1 to 9. So she likes to stand alone with her friends. So we are going to put a 2. And this is how we break down the number according to their value or place value. So we have our 100 plus 80 plus 2. I want you to please do the same. So where there's hundreds, don't forget to put the 2 zeros. Where there is tens, don't forget to put the 1 0. And when there's units, just put the number the way it is. Now let's go to number 3, the last part of our exercise. Number 3 on our page, if we take a look at our page on number 3, we have C. Now instead of breaking down our number, we're now going to put it all together. They have given you an example in your booklet, but we are going to do C together. The number we have for C is 400 plus 50 plus 7. Now, here is the trick, grade 3s. All we're going to do is remove the zeros. If we take out the zeros and cross them out for all the numbers, and then only write the digits that don't have zeros, we have put the number together. So we will now have 457. And that one is very simple. So remember, when you're breaking down numbers, you need to stretch them out and add the zeros according to the place values or the value. Then when we are putting them together, we remove all those zeros and bring the numbers together. So our answer now is 457. Take your time with all the exercises, boys and girls. Don't forget for the first one to draw your sticks to help you get the next number. Don't forget to use value or place value for number 2. And for number 3, don't forget to cross out the zeros and put your answer after you've done that. Take your time, and I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
We have come to the end of our lessons, boys and girls, and I hope you had fun. Remember, if the activity or the exercise is a little bit hard for you, just ask for help. But make sure that you finish your work by yourself. And always practice, practice, practice. Now that we are done with our lessons, it's very important for us to sanitize. So let us take our sanitizer. And remember, if you don't have sanitizer, soap and water is good as well. Please make sure that you try to sanitize or use soap and water after every lesson. Then make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I wonder though, I have not seen Zoshi in a long time. I think he was outside playing, but he said he was going to come and pick me up. Zoshi, are you here? Zoshi, oh, there you are, Zoshi. Hello. So, from Zoshi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, MyZone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.